Today to Software 101 in the car. I'm joined with my amazing listener. I believe your name is Helenia. Yeah. So I was told you might have some questions or ideas you wanted to discuss surrounding the system development lifecycle. Mhm. Okay. Yeah, that's understandable. At a surface level, the SDLC or system development lifecycle, as we'll refer to it, is it's often overlooked or seen as overly complicated or maybe not that important. Um, but essentially, the system development lifecycle is used to ensure that the projects stay on track in terms of time, budget, and quality. This is very important because otherwise, shareholders will be unable to stay in the loop, especially investors, which can be catastrophic because to lose confidence in the system or the business you're investing in um, essentially means that the system is going to either crash out or either it could even just come to a grinding halt if the development is not kept on track, and especially the later stages. Yeah, that's a really good question. But it's quite a difficult thing because mainly we break up system development lifecycle into different stages. Um, so the first stage, as I think you've probably looked at this picture that goes around, a very very popular picture. Um, but yeah, so it usually starts with the idea or the initial thought of what your system is going to be. It goes by many names. Have you heard any that you might want to discuss? And yeah, so more or less, the planning stage is um, built around the very, very first steps when starting your system. You want to understand what your system is required to do, what you might want it to do, what its target demographic might be. You really just want to understand the system and especially make the people in your team understand the system. So shareholders um, kind of can get their hands around what they're going to be investing into. Design is different to idea because if I can just get up some notes that I've written down to try and work on this issue through with you. Um, Design would be uh, once you have your idea and once you know what you want to do, once your shareholders know what you want to do, design would be formulating an idea, creating a rough sketch of what you might want to do, and it's really putting pen to paper and not so much building it, but putting it together, really understanding it and making sure it's what you want. How about what? Sorry. Implementation and testing are very different. They can kind of happen in either way, and it should go testing, implementation, then testing, as the team developing the system can never fully test every aspect of it. So implementation is where you upload the system for a game. It might be uploading it to the GameStop or the game shop. For a business, it'd be opening it up to the public. Uh, and testing it is when you do that, then the users are going to be able to test and see where the system might fall short. And before you implement it, you should also test it rigorously to understand any shortcomings the system might have. Um, After implementation, often a word used is evolution or maintenance. This refers to once the system is up and running, it's keeping the system up and running. And I'll put a picture up here. This means that you can cycle through these changes. So once implementation has been added, if issues are found, you move back to design, then you move back to testing, then implementation again. Maintenance is all of this. Maintenance is anything after implementation. Maintenance is updating, um, patching, fixing issues that might arise from users facing any issues with it. And it really is important to understand the longevity of this system, and even more important for user retention as well as long-term users. Uh, was that maintenance? You didn't understand why maintenance was important? Okay, yeah, sure. So the whole process is very important as it really allows the people creating the system to properly understand why we're doing this. And it really gives us a good opportunity to properly work through the system and make sure no steps are overlooked. If we overlook the testing phase, it's very possible that we miss a major issue. If we overlook the maintenance phase, the issue is going to become irrelevant, or the system is going to become irrelevant very quickly. If we overlook the design phase, we're going to have a mismanaged and poorly represented system. Each stage is very important, not only for the longevity, but also the initial creation of the system. Were there any other? Oh, of course. Were there any other questions you wanted to go over? No worries. I hope you have a great day.